We are here with Roger Ingle, Fort Payne City Council candidate. Your first question is, what do you think are the top 5 most important issues for the City of Fort Payne, and how do you plan to achieve those and or pay for them?
Well, we made a big step on paying for things when we did the tax increase, 3 years ago now, I guess. Of course, that's always a possibility, although I do not foresee another tax increase after one following that one up so soon. Things we've got to do in Fort Payne, again, is become more progressive. We've got to attack the things that we've kind of fallen back on from the past. We were always a real progressive city, and now we're kind of following behind our neighboring cities. They're advancing, building new facilities. And we have got to catch up again. If you're not moving forward, you're going backwards. There's no just sitting flat. So that's one of the main things I think we're going to have to address. Another thing is that my eyes was kind of open to is when we had the big rain a few months ago and all the flooding issues we had over on the Highway 35 corridor. And we lost some businesses. Now some of those might have went under anyway, but it certainly did hasten some of the businesses closing. And I think it'll take a long time for us to recover from those things. So obviously the improvements in that area to the roads and our sewage system is certainly how we'll approach that. Another sore spot, and I hear a lot from people, is Gault Avenue. Sometimes I hate driving down Gault Avenue because it's bumpity, bumpity, bumpy. It's like my mom's with me sometimes, and she says it reminds her when there's in a wagon back in the old days. And of course, I know that's a state road, but we've got to stay aggressive on the state, and we have to make sure that they are also taking care of their constituents here in Fort Payne. The other thing we have to do is keep up our rec facilities. I know I worked at the rec in the past and people accuse me of being partial to that, and I am, but we're going to have to keep updating. We haven't done much in the last 20 years, and we're going to have to. I know there are some plans out there, so I'll give credit to whoever for that. And lastly, I think one of the big things we have to do is not so much a change, but to keep a path we have is our relationships between all the citizens of Fort Payne. We always had great relations here, and we've just got to keep on having those same relationships. One city for everybody.
Okay. All right, and the next question is, setting and maintaining a city budget can be difficult. How do you plan on raising revenue and cutting expenses?
Again, we've covered the tax thing, and I don't think that's going to be very feasible for quite a while again. Again, that goes back to some of those things I mentioned about the goals for the future, and when we bring in more businesses again, that increases our tax base. That's the way to do it. Another way is when I mentioned the park and rec. We bring in these tournaments and other events in the city, not only through park and rec, but through, I think we need to kind of publicize more our relationship with the National Park Preserve. And that brings more people into town, and that really increases our tax base there when we do that. And through more sales it's generated, and that's really the major way without increases in taxes that you raise more money. That and of course, more people move into town. You become more of an attractive town or city for people to move to, and that also will attract more people, thus more taxes, more money, but not a tax that you vote on. Property taxes, I guess, would be the proper thing.
All right, the last question is, what do you think the role of a city council person is?
The role of the city council person is to be just that, be a member of the city council, not to be a lone ranger out there on their own and do what they want to do, but it's to listen to all your constituents. And if I'm so lucky to be voted in, those people that vote me in are the people I'm supposed to represent, and those are the people I have to listen to. I can foresee times that my own thoughts and ideas might conflict what I know the majority of my constituents want. Well, I have a responsibility to those folks, so sometimes I might have to swallow hard and go by what my folks want us to do. But we have to listen, and we have to cooperate and work with all the members of the council, and we can't have segments of the council, Lone Ranger, let's call it. We all have to work together to improve Fort Payne.
All right, well, last, just tell the voters a little bit about yourself and why they should vote for you.
Well, I was pretty much born and raised here in Fort Payne. and graduated from Fort Payne High School, went to the University of Alabama after that. Worked for the Park and Rec for about 35 years. And that opened my eyes in a lot of things about dealing with the local government, the city council, the mayor. So I have that experience. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it wasn't good. Our relationship with the school system, we cooperated with each other. And I think that my insight, being on both sides of the coin, and somebody may have mentioned earlier, I do the radio and the PA for most of the Fort Payne High School football and baseball and basketball and so on. So I have a good relationship with the city as far as the education system and as the city itself, the governmental. And I think that's a huge asset when it comes to working with each other, and no debates between.
Okay.
And I just appreciate everybody's vote, and hope you'll come out on election day and vote for somebody.
Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.